G'day friends, welcome to another page in 10 video. I've got a few supplies here, actually just a bunch of different ones. An orange brush pen, an orange eco line, they're two different oranges. Some Stabilo woodies, these are really chunky water activated pencils. I've got a teal and a purple, and I've also got a pink, like a fluorescent pink pencil. Now that I've seen that these are water activated, do I want a water brush? I think I do. We'll see what happens with that. This is going to be just a fun kind of pattern exercise really, and we're going to get started. 10 minutes on the clock to get your hands warmed up and happy and feeling fresh today. I want to take a ruler first of all and a mechanical pencil because I just want a really fine line here. I could just do it in pink actually. Where's my pink? I need that. And I'm going from the edge. I can't be bothered finding the halfway point, so I actually just use my ruler as the width. And we're making a grid. So I want all vertical lines that match up, like train tracks. Just the width of my ruler. This is a pretty big, like 18-inch ruler, so it's nice and wide. And we'll see how straight I've cut this paper. This is just a hand-bound watercolor paper journal. It is almost finished, and I thought, you know what? Let's finish it off with some gorgeous page in 10 pattern. And now I'm gonna go this way, vertical. And we might just ignore that little section at the top. Oh, I don't know, we'll do the whole page. No, we'll ignore it. I'm ignoring it. I made the executive decision. I'm going to spend 10 minutes just ruling this all up. I do want it to be a nice, neat grid. I considered not, but I think I do. I'm going to ignore the edge overlap section at the end as well. So none of this, none of this. Do not worry about it. Erase it if it's going to get in your way. We could do a nice centered grid, but who's got time for that? Not me, not in my page in 10. That was a Pilot Color NO pencil. All right. This is really simple. We're just going in a grid pattern, but we're doing this production line style. Oh, do you hear my creaky chair? Don't worry, I've got a new one on my Christmas wish list. So whatever we do for the grid, I'm going to use the chisel tip and go half. I'm going to go through the center and then 2 stripes on the side. We're doing this over the whole grid. So you want to choose an action. I'm going to call it an action. So right now I am 3 striping. I'm doing the Adidas stripes. And I've chosen kind of a Halloween color palette to go with my Halloween season right now. You want to choose an action that's easily repeatable because you're going to have to do it to your whole grid. And you can see we're skipping every other one. What we're going to end up creating is a very heavily patterned pattern, which is just fun. And I just felt like doing it today. I'm a maximalist at heart, really. More is more is more is more. And this pattern on pattern on pattern issue is actually going to be very... It's kind of really speak to my fashion sensibility because I love problematic patterns. Now I'm going to draw a circle. I haven't pre-planned any of this either. I'm just kind of going intuitively. I'm going to draw a circle and then color the outside of each of those with my Stabilo woody. I'm not worried so much about it being a perfect square once I've colored it in because I don't have time for too much perfection, but at least now I know all of the squares are pretty even. And the circles are going to be a little bit different sizes because, plot twist, I can't draw a perfect circle. Comment if you can. I don't even know if there's ever been a time where I've drawn like the most perfect circle. You know how some people just accidentally catch that on camera and then put it on TikTok? I can't say. I know that I've gotten pretty close to drawing some pretty good circles, but... And I know if I sketch, I can do a pretty good circle. But just freehand, you know, one stroke, point to point, it's not my skill. It's not my expertise. The reason I like to use a bunch of different mediums is honestly because they're all just around my desk and I grab them, but you get, not only just you're looking for a difference in color, to add to kind of the chaotic look of the patterns. You want a difference in texture. Can you see how that marker is so juicy, the ink is so lovely and vibrant, that it creates a nice, bold, flat color? I mean, I wouldn't even say flat. There's definitely some darker edges where the ink seeps into the paper when you start and finish the line, and it slightly softens out through the middle, so you could even call it like the most fair gradient. But with the blue, the teal that I'm doing with the Stabilo Woody, it's such a thick pencil, and this page is cold press watercolor paper, so it's got goosebumps, it's got a little bit of texture to it. The pencil can't get down into all that texture. The tip is too big, it is too chunky to get down there. So you've got this really open white, like all these white flecks in that, and that gives it its own texture. I'm going to grab the pencil. The pencil will also have some of that white in there. I'm only going to color in this left-hand side line. These might not even look like squares by the time we're finished. It might look like squares and rectangles, or who knows. We could accidentally create an optical illusion, because we can jump from square to square as well. We don't have to only color in inside each square, but we're just picking a process. So now it's coloring this bar, and we're just repeating it. Whatever happens, happens. I gotta be careful because that water-soluble crayon will transfer to my wrist and I'll smudge it everywhere. All right, let's get that purple in there so we can get all the colors down. We've got 4 minutes left, so we can't take too long. I think I want to put like a rainbow shape. I might just rainbow shape next to that pink line that I did. And color over the top. It looks like a... I always forget the word for this. I want to call them jubes, because that's what we call them in Australia. Gumdrop. Looks like there's a little gumdrop sitting in there. And then we'll get that brush pen out and see what we can do with that. So we've got the difference in the colors, we've got the difference in the textures, and then obviously the difference with the shapes. We're adding so much visual interest to it. I just love it. All right, let's squeeze some of this. I got this in Kyoto from a tiny little stationery store right near the Fushimi Inari shrine. Let's do a circle inside that circle. And there's a lovely little Japanese lady in there. Old little Oba-chan. She didn't speak any English, and I was very rusty on my Japanese. We have a lovely little talk about all her little stationery supplies in there, and I got this, and I had hoped it was orange, and was very pleasantly surprised to find out it was. It's lasted me years. I got this in 2020, I got this in 2019, and it's still going strong. Let's get the pink back in there, I reckon. We can need to do something, maybe I'll just half fill the circle. I'm going to trade it this way because it's just easier for me to go vertical than it is to go horizontal. We'll have like a little preference in our muscle memory. That's mine. Don't have time to sharpen. Come back to life. Anyway, I got some pencil extenders from there too. I actually wish I'd bought a ton more of the pencil extenders because those really came in handy. All right, what else can we do? Maybe I'll go this, and I'm gonna water it over. Oh, don't love that. It's gonna make this weird green color. Too late now. I'm gonna water it over this orange stripe because it is also water reactive, I believe. So I'm going from the side of the circle and I'm kind of blending those two stripes together. If I put enough water there and kind of rub it over the top, it'll make a gradient, but it's going to give me this really sour green. Oh, wrong one. That's what I wanted to try and avoid this whole time. But it gets confusing, your eyes go crazy. That's why I have to tell myself it's from the side of the circle into that line. There we go. Because you definitely don't want to get too confused. When so much is going on, the pattern will get off, and then you'll be like, what happened? All right, well, it might look interesting once it's dried. And here, because we don't have the other actual thing, I'm gonna have to just pretend like it's over there. That's why it's easier not to go off the page and to have a great, like an amount of squares just kind of centered, because then you can not have to worry about all that. I guess you might still have to worry about it. Let me grab, I don't know, maybe this mint thing might be nice. Oh, it's like a light gray. You can barely see it. Quick, I need something light green. I'm going to put light green above all of these. There we go. Oh, we're done. It looks terrible. Well, I made some choices. Were they the right choices? Turns out they weren't. But I do like this idea, and honestly, that 10 minutes flew by. I could be doing this for another 15, I think. Especially because there's no black in there. I feel like I could get some really nice black patterning in there, get some simpler shapes in there. I actually even think, I know I'm cheating at this point, but I will just be going over this with a stamp, because I just wanted to see what it would look like if I had some black in there. So I'm going to grab one of my little flowery stamps from this wooden stamp set I made for Virtual Voyage 6 bento boxes. Unfortunately, I never did get to re-release these stamp sets because my manufacturer changed the minimum order quantity to something like 5,000, which I couldn't afford to stock. So these are now very special, rare, limited edition jlbCREATIVE products. But that's great. That actually helps me out a little bit. Looking very 70s, very retro. Big mistake with the water brush, but you know what? We live and learn. And this is our problematic patterns page. Love it. See what you can come up with. Share everything with your hashtags. I'll see you around on social media, I'm sure. This is another page in 10. Go check out the playlist if you want more 10-minute videos to get your hands warmed up and just get into your art journals and having fun and turning your brain off. I'd love to do that with you. See you around. Bye.